Aquarius did his best to dodge out of the path the pistol was pointing, but he's no Neo. This ain't the Matrix. Niggas don't dodge bullets. They try, and God knows Aquarius tried. One round, bow, fired, point-blank range by a Glock 40. The pistol was fired from the ground. The bitch who had fired it was a man who folded up like a piece of loose-leaf paper. He folded after Aquarius stood over top of him and socked him with a few punches. Aquarius was 6'6", 230, and sturdy. He's got a bag of bricks for a left hand, a sledgehammer for a right, and a size 15.5 boot that'll stomp you into the arms of Jesus. No nigga in their right mind would run the fade with Aquarius. He had a reputation.
Fuck, nigga, you done fucked up.
These were the words uttered by Aquarius as he ripped the chain from the dude's neck. They were in the parking lot of a local gas station. Aquarius had gone inside to use the bathroom. He had arrived first. When he left the restroom, Aquarius spotted Omar checking out at the register. Omar was affiliated with his main op. Omar was the most poppin' rapper from their set. He had a little buzz going, a little motion. What he didn't have, Aquarius thought, was a bunch of sense as to why the hell he's over here on this side of town, pumping gas and buying swishes like shit sweet round here. Omar wasn't like that. Niggas knew. He had been robbed a bunch of times by less threatening figures. You could step to him and he'd give it up easy, like a $2 hooker. So when Aquarius stepped to him, Omar wanted no smoke. Hey, bro, please, bro, please, bro. Hey, yo, I ain't even on that, bro. Please, just chill, bro. Please, my nigga, just chill, bro. Hey, bro, bro, chill, bro. Come on, bro. Under normal circumstances, Aquarius would have just upped the pole on him. But Aquarius didn't anticipate to spot him right then and there at the gas station, and besides, he had no mask on and there were cameras. So instead, Aquarius decided to take him for his chain and whatever cash he had on him. Lil nigga was constantly flexing cash on the gram. Aquarius pressed him on sight, right there at the register. Omar, feeling the pressure, took off running out of the gas station. He didn't make it far, though. Aquarius, as large of a man as he was fast. He tripped Omar from behind and got to work on his ass once he hit the floor.
Turn over, nigga.
Boom! Aquarius socked him with another punch. His left hand was occupied holding the chain he had snatched earlier. His right hand, when not striking Omar with body punches, was trying to clear his pockets. But Omar made it very, very difficult. He curled up and turned away, trying to prevent Aquarius from getting to what he was hiding.
What the fuck? Nigga, did you shit?
Aquarius yelled, momentarily grabbing his nose. Omar had soiled his pants. The stench was so pungent, so sharp, it could take the place of smelling salts. Omar was in tears, yelling and screaming. His commotion is going to get the attention of everyone around. Aquarius knew he didn't have much time. He needed to dig real quick into Omar's pockets and be out before the police came. Bending at the waist, Aquarius made one final reach.
Stop!
Aquarius had looked up to see Tawanya trotting in his direction. Tawanya was the mother of Aquarius's 2 children. Recently, they had gotten into it. Tawanya threatened to leave his ass because he didn't have much going for himself. Aquarius was too much in the streets. He didn't want to get a job. Over the last 3 years, not once did he break the cycle of going in and out of jail. 3 months here, 5 months there, 9 months over here. Aquarius would get out, run up a bag, not a big bag, a little bag. But he'd run it up regardless. But the money would dry up fast fighting cases. The lack of money would compound because Aquarius never caught enough momentum while he was out. Every time he went to jail, it would stunt his progress. Tawanya was sick of it. She had kids to take care of, and she was a woman with taste. She had needs. Tawanya made it clear that if he didn't change, she would leave his ass. To let him know she meant business, she would just disappear on him for days on end.
Where you at?
She would just laugh and chuckle and play with his emotions.
Nigga, where you been? You haven't been home to see your kids.
Every argument would end with Aquarius apologizing and promising to do better. And yet here he was, standing over top a man, beating him for his possessions. And there stood Tawanya with tears in her eyes. She was witnessing for herself that he ain't shit. All the promises he made her, he ain't worth a damn. During that moment of distraction, Omar twisted his body, rolling on the ground to face upwards towards the sky. The sudden motion caught in the periphery of Aquarius's vision caused him to look down. What he saw staring up at him was the barrel of a Glock 40. Aquarius was leaned over, bent at the waist. His gears shifted into high alert. He needed to get out of the way. There was no time to stand up, barely any time to think. His lower back activated, gluteus maximus tightened. His brain commanded those muscles to engage, to swing his torso from the hips. He needed to swing like a door swinging from its hinges, anything to get away and get away fast. It was no use. Niggas don't dodge bullets. The round from the Glock 40 catapulted and shredded flesh in its wake. It entered through Aquarius's left eye and bursted like a water balloon. The trajectory of the round went unchecked as it exited through the temple of his head, narrowly missing his brain. Aquarius had 3 things going for him that day. Number 1, Omar, his scary ass. He had unsturdy hands and shaky aim. He had his eyes closed when he fired the Glock. His intentions was to shoot at the sky, scare Aquarius off of him. Number 2, Aquarius, in a panic fury, managed to cock and angle his head at the right time. He had completed the turn of his head as the round entered through his orbital socket and exited out through his temple. Number 3, Tawanya had called the ambulance. She had dialed 911 instantly. If not for her quick actions, Aquarius might have bled to death. The concussion Aquarius sustained left him in a daze. His head had bounced off the concrete floor. When the paramedics finally came to his aid, the heat was agonizing. Surprisingly, Aquarius maintained consciousness throughout the entire time. Aquarius helplessly endured the river of hot magma pouring from the left side of his face. It was his blood, his own blood bubbling over as it made its way out of his body. Pain was at the center of Aquarius's attention. He could not escape it. No matter what he did, he rolled, he thrashed, he squirmed. All Aquarius felt was extreme heat. It felt like someone lodged the sun in the place his eyes should have been. The heat radiated throughout the left side of his face. He yelled and thrashed, and then nothing. The sedation had kicked in. The paramedics couldn't constrain him. He was too large, too strong, too muscular. When they had pricked the needle into his flesh, he felt nothing. The feel of the needle prick was masked by an even greater pain. It was the sharp stinging and burning emanating from the left side of his skull. It's a free country. I go where I like. The nigga stepped to me. I stepped on him. Can't no motherfucker check me. Oh, baby. This was Omar's response to a radio host during an interview. The host had asked Omar about the incident. He asked why Omar was at that particular gas station. After all, it was a territory controlled by his opposition. Omar, whose rap name was Oh Baby, had dropped a single titled Run Up, Gun Down. It was going crazy. The streets was just eating it up. For the first time in Oh Baby's career, he had made it to the hip-hop Hot 100. His song was steadily creeping towards the #1 spot. He had just signed a major deal with the record label and he was well on his way to superstardom. Omar, got his first break when news broke out about the shooting at the gas station where he had come out on top. The narrative was far from the truth. The narrative painted Omar out to be a true demon. A demon standing 10 toes, not backing down from being prodded by an unsuspecting victim. Oh Baby was so tough in his lyrics. So tough. He had the world believing him too, and that ate up Aquarius inside. At present, he was in solitary confinement. Aquarius was charged with assault over that incident. Police had reviewed the camera footage from the gas station, then declared it self-defense. Omar had never had a run-in with the police. He had never gotten arrested before, and he fired his legal firearm, a weapon registered to his name. He got to go home that day, got away with it clean. Omar didn't even bother running. He stayed right there till them boys pulled up. He didn't even have to give a statement. Tawanya detailed the events and the cashier backed up her statement. Aquarius was declared the aggressor. Open, shut, case. The judge told him he was lucky to be going to jail instead of going to the morgue. He was in solitary confinement now. He had gotten into a fight over niggas talking shit, making sly comments about the situation. Niggas had started to test him. His reputation was no longer as ironclad as it used to be. Niggas tried him now. Tried him too many times, something Aquarius wasn't accustomed to. The only good thing about being in solitary confinement, being in the hole, is that niggas won't get to see you cry. They won't hear you either if you do it quiet enough. The Aquarius could feel the steady stream of tears pouring down the right side of his face. This was unlike the stream that flowed down the left side the day he had gotten shot. His heart was filled with hatred. He needed get back, but he knew deep down inside he would never receive his vengeance. Omar's record label had confiscated the video footage, made it disappear, paid off the clerk and paid off the gas station owners. The Aquarius mama sued to no avail. The police investigators simply shrugged their shoulders. They couldn't explain the missing evidence. It happens all the time, they told his mama. This led the Aquarius to spiral out of control. He is intoxicated with jealousy and overwhelmed with grief. Omar had gotten the better of him in this situation. He had taken his reputation, his left eye, his bitch, and his kids. It turns out Tawanya was with Omar that day. He had only been in the area to drop her off after she had spent the weekend with him. Omar was who she would disappear off with when the Aquarius couldn't find her ass. Now she was openly perusing on Omar's arm on social media. Omar's over here posting videos with Aquarius's kids. They calling him daddy, as if he's their father. Niggas really mocked Aquarius over that. They made fun of him. This made him furious. It made him cry. This was a loss he couldn't bear with. He had been confined to staring through a peephole for the rest of his life, a fact that he was reminded of constantly when he cried. The tears would only stream from one side. The left side had no tear glands to produce tears. It was always on sight with Aquarius. That was his motto. He had reacted on sight with Omar. He had reacted on sight with Tawanya. And now he had lost sight in his left eye.